Has there ever been a moment in your life when you've questioned the consequences of a single decision? Perhaps you've pondered on the idea that even the greatest among us can fall prey to temptation and make mistakes. This brings to mind the story of one such individual, a man after God's own heart, King David. King David, a figure renowned for his bravery, wisdom, and leadership, stands tall in the annals of biblical history. Yet, within this illustrious tale of triumph and honor lurks a darker chapter. A chapter that serves as a stark reminder of the frailty of human character and the dire consequences of sin. Our story begins on a seemingly ordinary day. King David, having accomplished numerous victories, was enjoying a period of peace. Yet it was during this time of calm that he committed his most infamous sin, the sin involving Bathsheba. David, while walking on his palace roof, saw Bathsheba, a woman of exceptional beauty, bathing. Overwhelmed by desire, he sent for her and slept with her, despite knowing she was another man's wife. This singular act of lust spiraled into a series of deceitful actions as David attempted to hide his sin. When Bathsheba informed David she was pregnant, David, in a desperate attempt to conceal his sin, summoned Uriah, Bathsheba's husband, from the battlefield. He hoped Uriah would sleep with his wife, thus masking the paternity of the unborn child. However, Uriah, driven by a sense of duty, refused to enjoy comforts while his comrades were at war. Seeing his scheme fail, David resorted to a more sinister plan. He ordered Uriah to be placed in the most dangerous part of the battlefield, where he would surely be killed. And so, Uriah was sent to his death, and David, believing he had successfully covered his sin, married Bathsheba. However, the omniscient God had seen everything. He sent the prophet Nathan to confront David about his sins. Nathan presented David with a parable of a rich man who took a poor man's only lamb, mirroring David's actions. Upon hearing this, David was filled with anger for the rich man, only to be told by Nathan, "You are the man." In that moment, the gravity of his sins dawned on David. He had not only committed adultery and murder, but also tried to cover his sins with deceit. Overwhelmed with guilt and remorse, David confessed and repented his sins before God. God, in his justice, forgave David but stated that the sword would never depart his house. This word came true as David's family was plunged into a series of tragedies, including the death of his child with Bathsheba and the rebellion of his son Absalom. So, what can be gleaned from this tale of King David? Firstly, no one, regardless of their stature, is immune to sin. David was a man chosen by God, yet he fell into the traps of lust and deceit. Secondly, every sin, no matter how well hidden, is seen by God. David thought he had successfully concealed his sins, but God saw everything. And lastly, every sin comes with consequences. David was forgiven, but he had to endure the repercussions of his actions. This story of King David serves as a timeless reminder of the cost of sin. It underscores the importance of integrity, even in moments of temptation, and the unyielding truth that our actions have consequences, reminding each of us to strive for righteousness in our lives.